Okay, the following is going to be a review on this flashlight that I've had for quite some time. It's the Fenix e21, and I quite love it. It's a great utility light. You can almost consider it as an upgrade for most people who don't want to have like the sophistication of one of the LD20s or 10s or the PD30, but it's still better than your basic mag light because it has more options and it's easier to use. Okay, here's the size comparison. Here you have a little Lego Indiana Jones. It's an Energizer 1-watt LED. This thing runs on 1 AA and puts out about 30 lumens of set. This runs on 2 AA's. It puts out 49 lumens for 11 hours, and it's like 150 for an hour and a half or an hour. And a mag light. I actually don't know the specs on this. Never used one. Never needed to. Now the reason I got this flashlight is because it was a simpler flashlight than like an LD20. It had a simpler user interface. I like that light output because 150 lumens is great if you need to see something really far away. Compared to this Energizer that I had before, this puts out 30 lumens constantly. But it has some circuitry issues, like if I would just leave it, it's like you could just tap it a couple times and it would start flickering and go into like low mode. I don't know if that's battery because I've changed it, but this, I know it has a much better circuitry and much better feel overall. It's like the Neuraling is just amazing on this. It's actually really grippy for the flashlight itself. You can see it's a fine Neuraling, or jumping, however you want to say it, but it runs on the center barrel. And up top here we can switch also. It says hot. It actually does get quite hot sometimes, but it's a little warm if you leave it on for maybe like half an hour at times. It's got some on the tail cap. You have the little Fenix lanyard and the clicky switch, which also has some kind of texturing on it. It does come with an extra spare, but it works just fine for this. It comes with spare O-rings and a spare clicky. Now the length on this, it's just past 6 inches. It's around 6 1/4 actually, because it doesn't hit the halfway mark, not even the tail cap. And the lanyard extends, who knows, about the same length probably. It's a good lanyard, it's strong. I trust it just slightly, but eventually I'd like to replace it with probably some tether cord, because it could fit through there. Regular 550 won't work through there, so you have to get tether cord from Countycom. Yeah, the reflector is actually smooth reflector, so you get some good throw. Up to like less than a foot, you still have that little donut effect. Inside of it, I don't remember the LED type of specifically, but I'll post it there. That's what it looks like if anyone cares. And the smooth reflector too. It's really smooth, it's shiny, it works well too. And you can see the glass. I think it's a non-scratch or scratch-resistant glass, but so far I don't have any problems with it. It works great. The whole flashlight is type 3 anodized, so it will resist scratching and chipping of sorts of any kind. You can see I barely have any kind of marks on it. There is one small mark, and it is on the front right there. On the front barrel, you can see that little thing right there. And that's it. That's the only thing I have, I'm pretty sure. It's really tough, and I dropped that on concrete and it's skid. So it's an amazing light for what you get. This is the box that it comes in. It's a clamshell. I didn't really like that at first, but I could care less. It's made in Taiwan, and for $30, it's a fairly good light. So I guess I paid for that a little bit, because it doesn't come in a box like others. There are some specs if anyone cares. It's NSI, or ANSI as I like to call it, rated for FI1, max output of 150. Runtime is 11 hours maximum. Beam distance 134 meters. Peak beam intensity 4510 CD. No idea what that means, but oh well. And it's impact resistant and waterproof to around 2 meters. So dropping it in a puddle, getting some rain on it, it'll be fine. It's a good hiking light, I guess. I haven't tried it out yet, though. I did have one small issue out of the box with the light. And even on the high setting, like when it would be turned all the way to high, which is the hot logo, completely in line with the Fenix model number, it would still put out the 40 lumens. That's the 150, but no matter where I turn it would still put out that out of the box. I tried switching the batteries, same thing, but I contacted customer service. They didn't know, but I didn't blame them. But eventually, I think it was just a break-in period. It started to work. It's like after half an hour of playing, maybe I switched the batteries again to much fresher ones, but it worked great. So that's the only issue I've ever had with this thing. So it works fine. Now let's just get some up close with this. You can see the forward knurling. There's I think it's a serial number. Not sure which one though, but yeah. There's like a screw here. You're not supposed to. It's locked headed on, so you're not supposed to turn that. You're supposed to turn this whole part. As we go further down, it kind of steps down to the main body, where you see the Fenix e21 logo, and then there's a tail cap assembly which has more knurling. This unscrews. I'll show you that later, and you have the tail cap. It does have a nice authoritative click, so it works fine. Now to unscrew it, you just screw here. You can see when it comes off. It's got O-rings and a nice amount of lube or grease, and it comes off smoothly. You can hear it. There's a hexagonal or something like that, octagonal threading on it, so it helps it so you don't misalign it. There are those little two divots. You like put something in like a pen or a paper clip, and you start spinning it, and that's how you open up the tail cap tail cap assembly to switch out the button. And let's go over that. You can see they're kind of squared off, but they're actually like trapezoids, more or less. Inside I have Duracell batteries, and there's two of them. There's no wiggle inside. Let me try to show you inside of this. I'll put the batteries back in this way. You can have a nice sliding in feeling, and I'll bring it up close so you can hear it. It's not gritty or anything, it just feels good when it comes in. Now let me just give you a small size comparison to a Uniball Signo 207, which is like the fine point. It's just an inch or half an inch longer, the flashlight. With depressed, it's about an inch longer. So that's a common everyday thing you can compare it to.